Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carmine Appice is here at Drumeo. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Great, man. That was
I
awesome.
didn't expect the sweat on there.
Well, welcome to Drumeo. I'm glad you can come out.
Thank you. Yeah, great setup you have here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Glad to be on.
We've we met at NAMM early on this year, and
We did.
I thought, why don't we get you?
And that's how this happened.
And that's how it all started. If you guys don't know who Carmine is, he is a legend in rock drumming. He is the author of Ultimate Realistic Rock. This book has gone on to sell over 400,000 copies. Tons of our members have gone through this book. In fact, Jared told me this is one of the first books he bought when he was learning the drums. So we're very honored to have you. He also plays with Vanilla Fudge and Cactus. If you guys want to follow him, you can keep up with what he's doing. You can follow him on Twitter at Carmine Appice1. Also on Facebook, Carmine Appice himself. He's got a website, carmineappice.com. You can check out. You also are doing something really cool with your brother, Vinny, called Drum Wars.
Oh, yeah, we did Drum Wars. That's the CDs we have to give away there.
That's right.
We recorded it live at the Iridium a year ago, not even a year ago. And what we do is like the Gene Krupa Buddy Rich Drum Battles, but we do it to heavy metal rock music. We play all the hits that we've been known for in that area. Like for me, we play Ozzy songs. We even do a really heavy version of Do You Think I'm Sexy?
Yeah.
And then we do Dio and Black Sabbath. And it's a lot of fun because within that skeleton of the songs, we do these drum battle things.
Yeah.
And, it's a lot of fun.
You can check all that out, drumwars.com. And we are going to be giving away a couple things today. Actually, we're going to do it after the lesson is on YouTube. So what you're going to do is after this lesson is on YouTube, if you're watching it on YouTube, just leave a comment below. And within a month, give it a good month, we will pick randomly. And what we're going to do is we're going to give away, we have the Vanilla Fudge record. You can hold that one up there.
Brand new Vanilla Fudge record. It's called Spirit of 67. We did the way we do rearrangements of songs. From 1967, that's where the Spirit of 67 comes in. So we did like Doors and let's see, the Doors and Heard It Through the Grapevine, The Letter, I Can See for Miles by the Who, Tracks Like Tears, I'm a Believer by the Monkees, which doesn't sound anything like. So just it's really a cool record, especially for Vanilla Fudge fans who really like it.
Very cool. So we'll give that away. We also got 2 versions of his Drum Wars, and also the actual copy of the book that you are going through for this lesson. He's going to sign it too, and we'll give this away as well. So make sure if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you comment below, and we will pick a winner from there and send them these goodies. Okay, and then also I just want to thank B-Drum, Felix from B-Drum, Istanbul Cymbals.
Me too.
But they've been great help, Evans, for helping us out with the heads and everything like that. You were great help. And lastly, you guys, we do this stuff all the time on Drumeo, as you've probably seen already, and we want you to try it out for free. We have a full 30-day trial, drumeo.com/trial. Give it a try. You can see a lot more of this. We're also filming an exclusive course with Carmine tomorrow, just for Edge members, so it's going to be really cool. But let's get to the actual portion.
Did you thank Istanbul Mehmet?
I sure did, yes.
Okay, I didn't hear it.
Oh, what is up? Victor's going to teach us something as well today. So the lesson topic today is actually something that you've talked about a lot inside of your book.
Yeah, a matter of fact, all the stuff that we're going to do here today and tomorrow are from different things from the book, Realistic Rock, because gradually the book is, as I update it, I add more material, modernize it a little more, so now there's a lot more things in it from today than there were when I first did the book. And this subject is linear groupings, linear grooves, and basically I break it down so it's easy to understand and easy to do, and you can do this at home and follow along. And so
Yeah, let's get into it. You guys can
So
download
first
the
of
sheet
all,
music.
let's talk about what a linear groove is. Now, mostly when you're playing drums, you usually come down with a stick on the bass drum, hit together, or high snare hit together, you know. So hit together. Well, linear grooves, everything is individual, but they group together to create its own groove. So, for instance, it's like this. Here's a regular groove, linear groove. You can see how those individual notes join together to make up a groove. So how do you come about getting these things? First of all, the groupings. So you can make up your own groupings. We have some groupings that are ready-made for this thing that sound really good. So I'm going to get into that now. So the first one would be a 3. Let's say letter A would be a 3. So the 3 is, everybody's done this, right, left, foot. Repetitious over and over. You're not going like 4 and then rest on 4. It's repetitious. Everyone's done that. Okay, so that's the 3. Number B would be a 4. So you go right, left, left, foot. So right, left, left, foot. You can play along with it. You know, it says 1, 2, 3, 4. You build it up to a faster speed. That kind of thing. So you got 3 and a 4. And you got a 5, which is a paradiddle with a foot. So it's right, left, right, right, foot, left, right, left, right. Put it on another tom or hi-hat and you get like, okay, that's an interesting one. And the last one is, so you got A, B, C, D is a 6. So 6 is right, left, right, foot. I'm sorry, right. Okay, now the way you can practice these things are you can alternate your feet too. Let's take the 4. So you go like, you can do hi-hat. You have double bass drum with double pedal. You can also, I'll show you this later when we get the grooves going. You can add a double bass drum thing to it. It makes it really interesting. Okay, so now we have a 4, a 3, 6, 3, 5, 3. These all make up different groupings. So let's take a 4 and a 3. Okay, so 4 and a 3 would be right, left, left, foot. Right? Is that how you have it down written? Is it 4 first?
4,
Yeah, okay.
number 3.
I
Yeah.
did put it on the screen and, I don't want to put the wrong one on the screen. So you got right, left, left, foot. So you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can go 7 and then go right back to 1. So it's like a bar of 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, now you can also alternate the feet. On the hi-hat. It's interesting because the hi-hat gives a much lighter sound, you know? So, all right, so that's your 7. Then you have a 9, which would be a 6 and a 3. So you go. Okay, same thing, right, left foot. So you have 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, there you got 7, 8, and 9 groupings. 7 and 9. So what do you do with that? So let's think about what is 7 and 9. If you add them up at 16, what do we have in drum music or any music that has to do with 16?
Full bar 16 notes.
16 notes, exactly. So what we're going to do is play these in a 4/4 tempo with a 16 pulsation. Okay. So in other words, if you're going. Okay, I'm going to do 9, 7. So 9.
Very cool. So,
Very cool.
you guys, if you want, you can download the sheet music because he's got all the groupings in there again. And do you want to do that one just one more time? We have this one on screen. Cops, I want to throw number 1 on screen for us.
Okay.
This is the
Should I
sheet.
do it straight or with the, how do you want it?
Whatever you want.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
So the 9, 7 again.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, so you have 9, 7, 9, 7. Now, you can do 7, 9 also. Do the same kind of stuff. So 7, 9 would be the reverse. You do 7 first and then the 9. So you get this. I mean, let's take, if you keep doing that over and over, you got like a great groove. Like, Latin thing, you know? It almost sounds Latin, you know? So these things things are great for fills. I mean, you can play like. Melodic, you can hear like different tone things in it. They become melodic. I did a bunch of that stuff in the first song. If you can go back and listen to it on YouTube, but it's there. So these are great. So you got 9/7, you got 7/9, and you can constantly repeat them, keep it rolling, keep it rolling. But then you could also add stuff like a 2-bar phrase and do 9/7/7/9, or you can do 9/9/7/7. Any way you want to. Remember, you can make up your own groupings. They don't have to be my groupings. I learned this stuff from a Canadian guy named Rick Gratton. When we first met Rick, me and my brother Vinny were on tour, and he had a book called Rick's Licks, and I didn't understand it that well. When we met him, he started saying like, "Oh yeah, it's just 7/9/9/7." It sounded like a phone number. So it was like once we grasped the idea of it. I would do this when I was teaching. A good way to learn these things sometimes are like, just write down like 7, 9, 5, 6, 3, 9, 9, 7, and play it.
Would you practice that with a click yourself, or would you just...
I have practiced it with a click. When I first was learning it, I used a click because you don't really know where one is.
Yes.
And there's one that I do is 4 9s and 4 7s with it. One goes totally out. I used to play with it in the winter, and I used to do that. And he'd go, "Where's one?" And I'd slam into that one, And after that show, he said, "Please don't do that again." So when I do clinics, I say, "Don't try this with a band." All right. So anyway, let's do a different version. Let's do a 9/7/7/9. Okay. So it's like we don't need to click for this. I don't think. I think we're all
Sure.
yeah. So here's your groove. Just visualize that. Sorry, I'm so used to going back and forth.
Yeah.
You could also do 7/9/9/7. I don't think we have that on the screen, but you can do that. So it'd be like this. You could hear the groove going through it, And again, you can do all these things like, Then you get to the point where you don't have to say, what's a 9 or 7? You start feeling things. Like, I'm just going to play a bunch of them now, all right? I'm not going to think about any numbers. I'm just going to play grooves and just play a bunch of them. And you see what I'm talking about, okay? This is really cool. You take like a slower version and then do a double time. You get this. great. So now I was talking about before how to get double bass drum things out of this, right? So when you're practicing these and you're doing like a 7, you go like this. Seven. Now when you hit the bass drum, you hit the left bass drum, like a 32nd Street, I think it's a 32nd triplet. Right after it, you go. Last note is right at the edge of the bar, you know, it's almost like out of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you do that's the 4. Okay, so if you do the 9, you get this. Well, let's do the 7, the whole 7, sorry. Wow, it's kind of Phil, it's almost like out of time, you know? Nine and 7. You know, it's like really, really good stuff, you know? So I love this stuff, you know? But here's one crazy thing, you know, you can do like, all 9s and 7s. Play a little thing. Here we go. Totally in time. If you do 4 7s, 4 9s, to a click, you should come out on the 1.
Yeah.
If you don't come out on the 1,
Messed up somewhere along the
you know, that's the one I did with Edgar Winter, and it was very funny, I gotta say. So these are linear patterns. They're in my realistic rock book.
Yes.
Okay, they're something that I use all the time, and they're very powerful. So again. Very cool. I love these things.
So when you practice them, are you making sure that you practice them in groups of 16? I know like the 9 and 7 is a natural group of 16. 9 plus 7 is
Yeah,
16.
but even when you do 5s, you know, like if you do a 5, it's like a two bars of 5. You have to do 2 bars of 5 and then 2. So actually, it's got to come out to 32 16 notes.
Okay.
So 6 bars of 5 and a 2.
Yeah.
So it's like know, that kind of thing. So that's 2. That's 4, 6, and then
It worked.
okay, so that's how you do it. It's like mathematics, you know, really. So you can come up with your own groupings. You can any sticking you want to come up with, and you can make it, you know, its own grouping, a 7 or a 9, or you can have a, you know, maybe an 8 and a 5, whatever you want to do, an 8 and 4, you know. But these I find to build this idea, to build this concept, these grooves really work fine, you know. And again, Rick Ratton's a guy, he's a Canadian drummer, an awesome drummer. I went and did a video called Rick's Licks that you can get, I believe, online somewhere. But we broke it down like this to make it really understandable for people, because the way he had it written, it was very, you couldn't understand it very easily. Me and my brother both went through the book and go, I don't get it, you know, until we actually met him.
Yeah.
And he broke down these things, what a 7 and a 9 were, you know, how the sticking was. And then when I did the video, I said, you know what, we got to break down. So we have like these linear rudiments. It's the 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then put them together to come up with this whole playing line, you know.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And when you practice them, do you do them always with 16th notes in mind, or do you play these like triplets and all, like these groupings? Are they always practiced and performed with you in 16th notes, or?
Mostly in 16th notes. I mean, you can do it. There are things that you can do in 8 notes. I'm sorry, 8 notes. Like the slower one I did was 8 notes and then double time 16. You can do them in triplets, you know, as well. You know, those get a little more difficult. I didn't get a lot into that because that was Rick Ratton's territory. Because I sort of rockified him a bit, you know. But you can do them in triplets. You can do like. You know, 2 triplets and 2 16 notes, you know, which ends up being really, really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really get into the whole linear thing by studying out Rick's material. This is sort of like the introduction, and it's enough to get you going to play these things in rock music, you know, because, you know, I do rock, you know, rock funk, you know, power rock, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You know, and it all works in that genre.
If you guys have any questions for Carmine, you can get them in now. We already have a few ready to go, but do you have anything to add to this topic before we move on to questions?
Only, like everything, start slow. You know, when I started these, I was like, you know, you don't need a drum set either. You know, we were playing, me and my brother were playing on tabletops on the whole tour. You know, and drum pads, whatever. But it's nice on drum setters, then you can spread it around. But you got to start slow, use a metronome, so you know that you're in time, you know, and then gradually build speed on it. You know, just like anything, you have to build like, you know, you're building the house. There's the foundation.
Cool. Well, let me just mention or go and see if there's any questions. We have quite a few already. So to start from the very bottom. Okay, this one's from Ray Lingua. It says, Carmine, when did you start playing double bass, and how did you learn double bass?
Wow, interesting. I always wanted a double bass set when I was playing a single bass strat before I made it with Vanilla Fudge. I can never afford the other bass drum, and I did a lot of singing. That song that was on, that was me singing. So I couldn't afford the bass drum or boom mic to sing with if I had a double bass drum. But then finally I got endorsed by Ludwig in 1968. I said, I want to get a double bass drum set. So not only did I get a double bass drum set, I got the biggest double bass drum set that was ever made at the time. I had 226 bass drums, 12 by 15 marching tenor drum, and had a 6-inch chrome snare, an 18-inch tom, and I had a 22-inch bass drum turned on its side. It was a huge set. And then when I got it, I always played with my eye. to the bass drums and playing grooves. And I went like, and it changed the whole groove. I'm just going. They have a whole nother dimension to it, you know? And I was always doing fills like. With the two bass drum. I started messing around with the double bass drums there, and then of course nothing like two bass drums with two different sounds. You get that, and I used that with Parchment Farm in 1970. At the time, it was the fastest double bass drum shuffle that was ever recorded. And then Billy Cobham came out a couple of years later with Stratus, I think it was, one of his. Matter of fact, I read something in Modern Drummer that somebody wrote in and said that Stratus was the first fast double bass drum shuffle. And somebody else wrote in and said, no, it's Parchment Farm. And me, so I said, wow, great. Because, I don't like to correct people like that. It makes it like I'm egoing out,
But if someone else,
I mean, I know what I did, but I don't like putting it out there like let somebody else put it out there.
And it's really cool too that you're playing two different sides bass drums. So you just got 24-inch on your right, or your.
Well, yeah, they're just by hand. Normally I play two of the same, but a lot of people don't play double bass drums anymore, so there are not a lot of double bass drum kits available these days. So D-Drum, gave me this, so they happen to have this kit, and they had that bass drum as well in a different size. I said, well, it's all right. Yeah, that one's a little longer. So pretty much, when I had the 26 by 14s, I went down to 24 by 15 because the 26s were getting, the pedal never hit in the middle. Now the pedals are different, but those days it was a speed king, it was a smaller pedal. Yeah, so that's what I did. I just built on those concepts.
Very cool. Do you mind just moving your water bottle there? I just heard that it's in the camera for your feet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
How
Perfect.
about that? Is that good?
Yeah, that's great. Everybody loves it. Okay, another question here. This one is from Mappa Doodrum. Says, I know
From where?
His name is Mappa Doodrum.
Okay.
Says, I know that you sometimes would use a rather unique grip when playing. How did you come across the stick grip, and why do you grip your sticks that way?
My grip?
Yeah.
Well, the grip he's talking about is like this. What camera you want? It's like this. Okay, in between these two fingers. I did my twirl like that, but it happened by accident. I was in Phoenix, Arizona in 1967 with Vanilla Fudge. We were playing this 500-seat venue, summertime, 120 degrees outside. There's 500 people inside. Well, actually, it's supposed to hold 500. It was more like 1,000 inside. It was so hot in there that when I would play, my sticks were just flying out of my hands from sweating. And so I grabbed it like this for some reason, and I realized that it held in there better. And in those days, a lot of the venues weren't air conditioned, so I'd run into this a lot. So I used to play like this also, And so I was playing like this a lot of the times. And then I was doing twirls like, Fudge, you keep, I would do this kind of thing. And I do this. And I noticed that if I have my hand like that, I ain't worried about your mic, hand. I would be able to twirl whenever I want to. So it would enable me to go like. I think you need the front shot for that. Enabled me to play play grooves. A lot of guys back in those days were doing some twirls through the fingers, but they had to stop playing in order to do something. The right hand had to stop. But I was able to and keep it going. So then I switched over from this grip to this grip. When I had a studio in Long Island, I went through all the books with my students this way because anytime I wanted to play a solo, I had to go like, and then it wasn't as powerful. So now do anything pretty much that way. And then I was able to come up with a new twirl for this stand. So I was able to go like this. It's funny, when I met John Blackwell, he said, "Hey, dude, love to meet you. I got your twirls. I stole your twirls." His twirls sort of like this, you know? I said, "Dude, that's not my twirl." But when you look on the video, that's like that, you know? So he's doing it like this. He said he got it from me. And I said, "Sorry, dude. You didn't get that from me. You thought you got it from me, but you made up your own."
Yeah, your own variation.
Yeah, but he's a great drummer, and he's got some great twirls. Sonny Emery's another one. Great twirls.
That's right.
Yeah. I love the twirls. I mean, I got my two guys were Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich, you know. And Gene Krupa's there's a YouTube on there, and he used to similarly go, "Jabu, get up, bam!" I went, "Wow, nice."
Here's a question from Dave Warfel. Dave Warfel asks, "Great lesson. How are you counting though? Are you counting 9 to 7, or are you counting 1 EN to 2 EN?"
I'm counting 9s and 7. I'm just using the pulse of the 1 EN, the 2 EN. Once you actually get the pulse, you gotta get that right tempo. Right? I'm not actually counting the full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm counting. I know what a 9 feels like, and I know what a 7 feels like.
So you internalize it.
So I'm going 9. No, that's the end of the 9. 7.
Yeah, okay.
So once you learn it, you know, if you do it slow enough, you start going 1, 2. You know, you learn first. You learn the root. It's like when you do a paradiddle. You don't go like. When you get it fast, you're not counting it no more. Same thing with these. These are the rudiments. Once you learn how to feel it and know where it is, then you just put it in place.
Okay. Fred has a question for you. Fred says, so to take this concept and make it our own, is the suggestion to spend time just memorizing the groupings and then eventually you are able to insert it wherever the combination fits?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just what we said.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like a rudiment. You know, any rudiment you do a paradiddle. You don't count that. You just know it. You know. Same with these. These are linear rudiments to be learned as a rudiment. And you get them fast, you know, and you start slow, build them up till you get them fast, and then you're able to play them anywhere. Like when I first started doing this, I was just concentrating on the 7s and 9s and feeling them where they go. And then I was always the kind of guy that I always put myself on the spot. I'm playing a gig live in front of 1,000 people and 2,000 people, whatever it is, and I just do it. If I screw it up, I look like the idiot, you know. And luckily, you know, I practice it enough where I can feel it now, and at that point. So now it's just a matter of feel, you know. And sometimes I'm playing those groupings. Sometimes they're changing by themselves, you know. I often wonder, I sit there and I play and I go, how is this happening? How's my brain signaling my hands so fast? And then watching other drummers and watching anybody, it's an amazing process.
No kidding, yeah. Mm-hmm. Questions keep coming in. Here's one from Kavir. Kavir says, "The legend, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence." He says, "I gotta know though, what was it like working with Rod Stewart? Be honest, keep it heavy, brother."
Rod was great.
Yeah.
First of all, come on, dude. 20,000 people a night. We played 4 nights, 5 nights in the venue. We played in Vancouver, 4 nights, and 80% of the audience is women.
There you go.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, a young guy, you know, I was, 32 years old, you know, I was just having a ball. But the other great thing was I worked with really great musicians. I worked with really great engineers. Tom Dowd, great producer. Andy Johns, one of the best rock engineers that ever lived. Rest in peace, Andy. And we experimented a lot with drum sounds, which like Hot Legs was a total experiment with a big ambient kick-ass drum sound. And, because it was a 7-piece band, I had to adjust, and less is more. But because I always had such a cool drum sound, even through the monitors live, my drum sound was big and fat, and then having Rod's voice singing over me, he turned around to the drums like this one song, It's Loving You Short, he said it was so soulful. And a couple of times I got goosebumps, while we were playing, and it's just awesome, He was a tremendous singer, the band was great, we played all over the world from, Thailand, Asia, all the way to, Trondheim, Norway, and south and across and Mexico and just everywhere. And it was just an amazing experience because they're also, when you're recording, that 5 to 10 million people are going to be buying your performance. It was great. So,
wow, yeah, that's crazy. Here's a question from.
I'm getting Rod to maybe write my introduction to my autobiography too.
Oh, really?
Which might be cool.
When is your autobiography coming out?
It should be out, I would think, by the end of the year.
Awesome. You can find all the information just on your site. You're going to release it.
Hey?
All the information for the release is going to be on your website.
Yeah, it'll be on my website.
Okay.
CarmineApiece.com. And I'll be posting it and all that.
Okay, here's a question from Stick to Jazz at AOL. He says, "Hey Carmine, great to see you again. Saw you in Florida at the Seminole Music Clinic. Is that correct?
Who?
Seminole?
Well, Seminole.
Yeah,
Seminole Music.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
That's an awesome music store in Florida.
Cool.
Seminole, Florida, right near D-Drum. I always get a cool D-Drum kit, and we go there and we have musicians play with me, and it's like a mini concert. It's just awesome. The place is always packed.
Cool.
And we have a great time there. And thanks for reminding me, and hi to all those guys down there. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Well, he says, keep on jamming, man. You are a legend. Thank you for this lesson. You gave me a lot of useful new stuff to practice. He asks, who was your drum hero growing up, or the person that got you to want to become a drummer?
Well, my cousin.
Yeah?
My cousin had a drum set, and I'd always go to his house and bang on his drums. We're an Italian family in Brooklyn. We'd always, we'd go to each other's house for the holidays and just go to each other's houses, and I bang on the drums. I go home, bang on the pots and pans. My parents got me toy drum sets. Eventually, that turned into a real drum set. And then I discovered the Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich Drum Battle album, and that was like it. And Gene Krupa was my total idol. When the Gene Krupa Story movie came out, it was like, I saw it I don't know how many times. And I saw it on TV. I had the soundtrack. I knew every note. I played every solo, every note. And then I discovered Joe Morello and Max Roach. And, and I got a little bit from everybody, but those four were the guys, I would say, that influenced my whole style. All this stuff that we all do. Max Roach. Yeah. That's right, Max Roach stuff, And time signatures, which I love, where you're playing like. F9-8. I got that from Joe Morello, Take 5. I used to practice that solo in 5/4. And the viciousness of Buddy, not the speed. My brother has that kind of speed.
Yeah.
But and the showmanship and the melodic sense and imagery of Gene Krupa.
Very cool. Yeah. Question from Boomer69, more of a request, not a question. He says, could you maybe play a few bars of "You Keep Me Hanging On"?
What part?
That's the thing. He didn't say. He just said, please, if you could just maybe do
Well, here's the intro when like pull the cymbal over. You want to move your mic?
I'll move the mic.
Okay, so pull the cymbal over here and go.
Thank you so much.
I did.
There you go,
I didn't
Boomer. I was
recognize.
hesitant to ask that,
Tell me
but
what
funny.
keys on the
I
floor plan.
thought it was good. So we'll do one more question, and then maybe you can play us out with a solo or
Okay.
something like that.
Mhm.
We'll go with this one. This one is from. This one, I thought this would come up. This one's from Cormaz One. Says, Carmine, please tell a little bit of the story of how you apparently helped John Bonham become endorsed by Ludwig.
Oh, back then, Ludwig had all the cool guys. They had Ringo, they had Dino Danelli. And the era that I came from, the 67 era, was Mitch Mitchell, Ginger Baker, and me, I guess, And they had everybody. So I had an attorney that, when we started making this Vanilla Fudge, he said, do you want to get an endorsement? And I said, yeah, I'd love to play Ludwig. And he called him up, and we did a deal, and I ordered that crazy drum set. And fast forward 2 years, we take this new band on the road with us called Led Zeppelin. And this young kid, John Bonham, who's 2 years younger than me, saw my drum kit and flipped out. So he said, man, you think you can help me get a kit like that? So I remember calling Ludwig and saying, hey, I got this new band. I think they're going to be big. You should endorse him. He's a really good player, and he wants a kit just like mine. How to be an understatement of 5 decades.
Right.
Yeah. So I was with Ludwig for 14 years, after that. And then they were sold to Selmer, and they started going down a bit. So I wanted to stay American. I went with Slingerland. And then Slingerland went out of business. And then I said, I'm going to have to go. And I was offered a big money deal from Tama at the time, but I wanted to stay American. And then I couldn't go back to Tama, so I went with Pearl for 5 years. And Pearl, and then I went with Premier, and 14 years at Mapex. And then Slingerland came back.
Yeah.
We want you to represent Slingerland. I said, I don't want to do it unless you're going to really do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave Mapex where I've been for 14 years.
Right.
And then nothing. 5 years later, Slingerland was gone. So I went with D-Drum. I've been with D-Drum for 7 years now.
So the drum song,
I
right?
mean, they sound great. I mean, I'm very happy with the sound of D-Drums. They've made different things for me. Ed Sullivan kit with one big bass drum, the Red Sparkle kit, like it's on YouTube now. That was the ES kit. We sold 100 of those, just 100 limited edition with a Carmine gold snare drum. Beautiful snare drum, sounds great. And yes, I've been with him since 08, so it's like 7 years now. But people go, wow, you've been with all the drum companies. Dude, 2 years, that's gonna be 50 years. Come on.
Yeah.
Who's with one drum company for 50 years? I don't know anybody. And Billy Cobham just went back to Tama.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he went from Tama, first he was on Ludwig, I think. Then went to Tama, then went to Tama to Mapex, and Mapex to Yamaha back to Tama. So everybody moves around.
Fair enough. And you got your symbols. These are your own.
The Carmine piece, realistic rock symbols from Istanbul, sound great. It's some of the best symbols I ever played.
I love that. Your
The
shade.
shade symbol.
That is really cool.
This is distributed by D-Drum, and it goes away. You can ride on it. A little more in the end thing we do. It's a fantastic symbol. Fantastic symbol.
Yeah, that's really cool. So thank you again for coming out.
Thank you.
buddy. That's
All right.
great. You're
I
always welcome
I
back.
hope everybody learns something, because I don't really, I don't view clinics as a performance more. I look at it more as an educational thing. So I'm very happy to teach stuff that people will grasp and learn.
Yeah, totally. And again, thank you, D-Drum, Istanbul Symbols, Evans Drumheads, for helping sponsor this event. And we are giving away a couple of CDs that Carmine will be on. But we'll do it once it's on YouTube. So yeah, just comment on the video below once it's on YouTube. Hopefully, if you are watching this on YouTube, you've already done it. And we will be giving away a copy of Drum Wars, the CD. We got 2 of those. We've got his Vanilla Fudge Spirit of 67, and obviously his Ultimate Realistic Rock book. And you are going to sign this. as well.
Yellow site.
So this is his old copy, so you're going to get one of those. And again, if you guys like this and you dig the idea, you should check Drumeo out even further. You can get a free 30-day trial, drumeo.com/trial. Sign up, it's free, and you can check out a course we're going to be filming tomorrow with Carmine that is exclusive for Edge members. So that all being said, I'll
Okay.
let you close us out, man.
All right, here we
Thank
go.
you.
This is something from my Blue Murder album. A lot of people ask me about this groove. I'm going to incorporate some of the linear stuff in it as well. So, thank you all for coming. Ciao.
Dude, that was so good.
Thank you.
Ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, Thomas Lang.
Hey guys, thank you, Jared.
Yeah, it's
Great
great
to be
coming.
here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out to Drumming. I was saying to the guys in the control room before this, I'm like, I'm going in to do a lesson with Thomas Lang. Can you actually believe that?
I said the same thing.
So, for those of you who don't know Thomas Lang, I'm just going to give you a short introduction. I hope that's all right.
Of course.
You have a little piece of thread right here on your cheek.
Thank you.
So Thomas Lang, he's been on the cover of pretty much every popular drumming magazine. He won pretty much most of the awards that come from one of the Modern Drummers Readers poll, as far as like clinician and you know, many other categories. And we were talking before. You only spend around 20% of your time doing clinics and tours, and the rest of the time is playing music and touring with a bunch of different artists.
Absolutely.
One thing you have coming up, and it's always the 4th of July weekend, is the Big Drum Bonanza.
Indeed.
And
Indeed. Yes.
now, can they get a shirt exactly like that?
Exactly that. With custom-made sleeves like that.
Now, that's always the 4th of July weekend. So if you're watching
Absolutely.
this video later on or after the 4th of July, just know that every 4th of July that's coming. And this one you have Chad Wackerman,
Absolutely.
Garrigo Borlai,
Yeah.
Rich Redman, Greg Bissonette, and Matt Garska. Unbelievable.
It's a really incredible lineup. Yes, we've been doing this for a few years now. Every 4th of July in Los Angeles, the Big Drum Bonanza. You know, the coolest drum camp on